Hey guys, my name is Ryan and welcome to Overwatch Central. So first of all, I don't want to tell you what to do. I'm not blaming anybody that decides to pick these particular supports or this combination of supports, and honestly, if you're much better playing Ana than say Zenyatta, then you obviously should fare better in the situations that I'm going to describe. Today, I just want to highlight some major flaws with picking up the combination of Ana and Moira as your healers on your team that players may not have realised. Moira's in a pretty good spot, Ana's in a better spot but not quite there yet in my opinion, but combining them both is less than ideal compared to other combinations of supports. Today we'll go over why Moirana, I guess, struggles, and also going over the major support combinations that are effective in ladder, but I also do want to talk a bit about Ana at the end of this video as well. So let's get straight into it with the main reason why Moira and Ana struggle together, and it boils down to one of the major aspects of the games, which is their ultimates. Looking at heroes like Lucio and Zen ultimates and what they achieve, across all of the heroes that are in that healing support role, there are lots of different ultimates that do different things. However, you need to look at the heroes that kind of have ultimates like Lucio and Zenyatta with Transcendence and Sound Barrier, and also what they achieve. These are very good ultimates as panic buttons when the enemy Genji's decided that he's going to Dragon Blade, so you can use Transcendence or Sound Barrier to sustain a lot of stuff that's going on. But it's also very good for engaging onto a point, using aggressively, moving with your team to sort of heal up as much as possible. Valkyrie with Mercy is similar, but a little bit more flexible and you can use it in more situations. It's just a very strong ultimate right now, really. But I'm not saying that Coalescence or Nano Boost are bad ultimates inherently, but when you have both these two ultimates on your team, you don't have any real defensive options. A Transcendence can shut down a Grav Genji combination, the Sound Barrier can as well to an extent. Valkyrie is super strong, it doesn't really need explaining as we've gone over, but mostly these ults are just good at out-sustaining a lot of things going on, very good at shutting down enemy ultimates if you can. Nano Boost obviously doesn't do that, it's very good at being aggressive and engaging, but other than that, it's quite difficult to use it for those situations where you need to save your team. And whilst Coalescence is strong, Moira is susceptible to being taken out. She is vulnerable at the end of the day, so the Genji could just run and kill her if he wants. Essentially, you have no real defensive ultimates with these two healers. Coalescence is okay in this regard, but Transcendence and Sound Barrier and Valkyrie are much more stronger at the moment. There can be very little counterplay against enemy ultimates, and honestly, if the enemy is running Zen Mercy, anything that you try and do aggressively can be shut down by them. They have a huge advantage of you because of this. I think there's also a problem that nobody's really spoken about, and that's effective range. Moira is very good up close, very good with those big tanky targets on very closed areas and maps, and Ana's quite good close up, but when you get to the larger ranges, both of these heroes struggle a little bit more. Obviously, Ana is a support sniper, she can shoot people from long range, but it requires a lot of thinking power and a lot of your resources to do that. It's different to a Zenyatta that just puts an orb on somebody and doesn't need to worry about them until they go out of line of sight. Mercy obviously can zip between people and heal them up quite effectively, but just Ana and Moira can't in this regard. I think a really good example of a map to talk about this on is Junkertown First Point. It's very big, it's very open, but on attack if you're running Zen Mercy, you can put a Zen healing orb on a Winston that's trying to dive the enemy, throw some shots in as well, discarding the Bastion if they've got one for example. Mercy could just keep everybody topped up, but I think another thing as well is that they do this without using any resources to Zen and Mercy. Healing Beam costs nothing to use, Zen Orb costs nothing to use, you can just put it on anybody if they're close by, but heroes like Ana have to reload, they have to aim, they can miss shots, they cannot do healing, and Moira does run out of healing juice as well. So at the end of the day, Zen Mercy could just out-sustain more damage for longer than Moira and Ana can as a duo. The counter argument to that is that Moira and Ana are very good when it comes to the burst healing. They're both very good at making sure that the big beefy targets like the tanks can go from like 50 health to 600 fairly quickly. However, the meta and the way that the game is playing right now doesn't really define that, really. I'd still say it's quite divey, Tracer is still a prominent pick, Widow's coming in, and Mercy as well is just needed. That running triple tank with this lineup isn't really that popular compared to other lineups, and because of that, we're not really seeing much of these heroes at all. Zen Mercy, I think, is the more optimal lineup because of its flexibility. Moira and Ana can be very aggressive with their ultimates, but Zen Mercy could use their ultimates both defensively or aggressively, meaning that you have a lot of options when these things come up. And I think that's where Ana and Moira struggle. And Mercy's super strong right now, and Zen's very good at making an enemy Mercy's life a little bit harder with a Discord orb. On the subject of Ana, I do want to talk about her very briefly, I suppose. She's a lot better than she used to be. I think the damage change is a big one, but I'd still say that she's not as good as she should be before players start clambering to her again and start picking her a little bit more often. The things that she used to be weak against, she's still weak against now, and she currently has a sub 50% win rate at about 44% last time that I checked. It might be up or down a little bit, but it's still the lowest used in the game currently, it's even lower than Doomfist's. And I think to an extent there is a double standard with Ana for calling out heroes like Sombra and Torbjorn. They're very niche heroes and very map dependent and team composition dependent and side dependent as well when it comes to playing these heroes, maining them or even one-tricking them, but I still think that should apply to Ana. I think that's very much the case for her as well. She's niche in certain situations but not great in a few others. I'm certainly not saying don't play her, she's a fun hero to play and very good if you want to practice your aim while still supporting your team. But I'm just saying that playing her in the wrong situation against the wrong teams can lose you a match very easily. Same case as every other hero in the game, mind. The most important thing is that these support heroes are still susceptible to this kind of treatment, and I just want people to watch out for it. But that's it for this time. Thank you very much for watching. Do let me know what you think of the Moira Ana combo, whether you agree or disagree with me, what are your favourite compositions to run with certain supports. And if there's any situations that you think Moira and Ana are very good in that I haven't highlighted, do let me know in the comments below. And until next time, take care. We'll see you then.